Hi friends, welcome to the PSM1 assessment session. So in this session we will be having 10 questions and their answers, and I will be also explaining the answers, right? So please bear with me. So the first question is, a scrum team consists of the following. So this question is asking about when what are the team members of a scrum team, right? So a developer, b product owner, c users, d customer, e scrum master. So answer to this question will be developer, a developer, b product owner, and d scrum master. So these are the best three answers because this question is related with the scrum accountabilities. So there are three accountabilities in Scrum team. The first accountability is the product owner, the second accountability is the Scrum master, and the third accountability is the developers. Next question. When does a developer become accountable for the value of a product backlog item selected for the sprint? So this question is asking about the accountability of the Scrum developers. So option A is never. The entire Scrum team is accountable for creating value every sprint. Option B, at the sprint planning event. Option C, whatever a team member can accommodate more work. Whenever a team member can accommodate more work. Option D, during the daily Scrum. So this the answer will be option A. Never. The entire Scrum team is accountable for creating a value every sprint. So Scrum team members working not individually, although, but the accountability is although to the entire Scrum team. So that's the reason answer will be option A. Question number three: who creates the definition of done? Option A, it is not an if it is not an organizational standard, the scrum team must create a definition of done appropriate for the product. Option B, the scrum master, since they are responsible for the productivity of the developer. Option C, the scrum team, in a collaborative effort where the result is the common denominator of all members definition. Option D, the product owner, since they are responsible for the product success. So definition of done is actually created by the developers. So if definition of done is not available already uh, from the organization, right? Then it is the Scrum team's responsibility to create to create the definition of done. So in this case, the answer will be option A. Next question. When does the developers on a Scrum team be replaced? Option A, never. It reduces productivity. Option B, as needed with no special allowance for changes in productivity. Option C, as needed while considering a short term reduction in productivity. Option D, every sprint to promote shared learning. So this is related with the if Scrum team values principle, right? So if some team members is not able to understand the Scrum values, right, and somehow his productivity is getting impacted, then he can be replaced, although it will reduce a little productivity, right? So in this case, option C should be the answer. As needed, if the Scrum developers is not working, then he can be replaced, while a little productivity loss may happen. Option A, B, and D will not is the right answer. Right? True or false? The Scrum team must choose at least one high priority process improvement item identified during the sprint retrospective and place in the sprint backlog. Is this it true? So after the sprint retrospective, some uh, improvements are suggested, right? So this statement is asking whether the Scrum team should include that suggestion in the next sprint. So the answer will be in this case false, because after the 2020 Scrum guide, this was this is no more mandatory now. Okay. Next question. The time box for a daily Scrum is, it should be 2 minutes per person, 15 minutes for a 4 week sprint. For shorter sprint, it is usually shorter. The same time of a day every day, 4 hours, 15 minutes. So the option will be 15 minutes. Rest of the options are false in this case. Which two things should the Scrum team do during the first sprint? Choose the best to answer. A. Develop a plan for the rest of the release. B. Create the complete product backlog to be developed in subsequent sprint. Option C. Develop and deliver at least one piece of functionality. Option D. Determine the complete architecture and infrastructure of the product. Deliver an increment of useful and valuable product. So here, Scrum theory says that the Scrum team of option C and D, develop and deliver at least one piece of functionality, working software, and then option E is deliver an increment of useful and valuable product. So option C and option E are the answer. Next question: who has a final say on the order of the product backlog? The developer, the CEO, the stakeholders, the Scrum Master, the product owner. So this question is asking about the ordering of the product backlog item. So who is accountable for the product backlog item? So it is the product owner. So he is actually also responsible for ordering of the product backlog item. So in this case, the answer will be option E, product owner. Next question is, the length of a sprint should be. What should be the length of a sprint? So basically, sprint length should be short enough to keep the business acceptable to the product owner, short enough to be able to synchronize the development work with the business events, 1 month or less, all of the above. So it should be option D, all of the above. Because normally it should be 1 month or late, it should be short enough to be able to synchronize the development work with the business event, and it should be also short enough to keep the business risk acceptable to the product owner. So all these three options are correct. So in this case, the answer will be all of the above. Next question is, what are two ways a Scrum Master serves to enable effective Scrum teams? Option A, by removing impediments that hinder the Scrum team. Option B, facilitating developer decision making. Option C, by starting and ending the meetings at the proper time. Option D, by keeping high value features high in the product backlog. So now we will do this by elimination. By removing impediments, yeah, Scrum Master is responsible for removing impediments. So this seems to be correct. A. Option B, by facilitating developer decision making. Yes, this is also true. Option C, by starting and ending the meeting at proper time. This is not that important. And option D, by keeping high value features high in the. This is not also the role of the Scrum Master. It is done by the product owner. So option A and B are the two best answers for this question. Okay, that's it. Thank you for your time. We'll share again another video.